Now, I know you've seen this screenshot before, where you've got the cool trade software there and you've got the 3 simple steps where you load it, you select your strategy and walk away. I want to dig in a little bit to step number 2, the selecting the strategy. One of the biggest questions that we get is, what strategy should I use? And keep in mind, Cool Trade is going to give you strategies as templates, and these are simulations. So we want you to use them in simulation. It's laid out for you so that it's a template. You can adjust it any way that you want, but we do highly recommend that you just look at what they've done. Some of these have been in use for a long, long time, and I've actually been to the corporate headquarters, and I encourage you to come out and see it too, where you can see strategies that have been running for a year or more, where it's just been there and they've set it and forget it. You can see the reports and see exactly how it's done, and that's a beautiful way to gain confidence to know that, wow, this thing really does work. So you can adjust it. These are strategies and templates, but that's step 2. How did we determine it? Well, let's go right into it with some detail. First thing is determine your own risk tolerance. Are you willing to go short? Do you only want to go long? How much do you want to put in? How much do you want to have in the market at any one time? You might have $100,000 in your account, but don't want to have any more than $50,000 in the market invested at any one time. So that risk tolerance, and when we talk about drawdown, that's a trading term where if I'm at $100,000, but if I sold it all today, it's only worth $90,000, how low am I willing to let it go before I say that's it, I can't take it anymore? So that drawdown, that's not something we talk about a lot because we're going to add to the positions. It's a good thing. It's your opportunity to buy more at a discount. And then the idea of running it in simulation mode is very, very important. So no matter what it is that you pick, we want you to run it in simulation mode, and then we want you to then go ahead and go live when you're confident. So let's dig in. Step 1 is determine that risk tolerance. Are you conservative? Are you aggressive? What kind of trading? Do you have a stop loss, which we typically don't use? What's your comfort zones? And that means everything from some people don't want to invest in anything with oil or gas or cigarettes or booze or whatever it may be. So all of those things come into play in regards to what it is that you're interested in trading. I mean, money is money, but if you have something behind the scenes you want to make sure it gets implemented, you got to do it. And then your time zone and your time frame. I don't mind if the robotic trader gets in and out of a trade in a few minutes. I couldn't care less. I like booking profit. Do I really want it to wait for days or weeks or months? No, as a matter of fact, I'd rather it book profits quickly because then I've got the money back and I can put it back to use and make some more money. So for me, shorter is actually better. But for some people, they might say, I'd rather it be in there for long. That's okay. Short term, grabbing the profits, beautiful thing. Types of companies, again, what they're invested in, what it is that they do, and the size of the trades, and how many lots that you do at a time, or how much money you have invested overall. All of these things in the direction, long or short, come into play in regards to determining where it is your starting point is. The next one is choosing the strategy. And again, we provide a large sample of templates, both long and short. Test them, see how they work for you. In addition to that, you can customize them any way that you want. Now, I will say for those of you that have some trading experience, you're going to be very tempted to go in and start changing everything. But don't, at least not at the beginning. Let it do its thing. Let it prove it to you. They've been tweaking this for a long, long time. It works real well. Now, for those of you that are brand new, this stuff is a little intimidating maybe, full confidence. Turn it on, watch it. It's going to work. You're going to see it, and you're going to understand what it does. If you're not familiar with shorting stock, simulation mode, let it do it for you. Learn by watching it, and then when you gain the confidence, then you can do the live trades after that. So that brings us to the next step, which is step 3, run it in real-time simulation. So don't just say, let me just backtest, backtest, backtest. Actually test. Use it. Simulation mode, so you can see exactly how it works. In addition to that, you'll gain the confidence. Let it earn your confidence. And make sure that you've got, even in simulation mode, the reserve capital on the side so you can continue to add to those positions. We call that putting your toe in the water. Just buy 100 shares, even though you can afford 1,000, just buy 100. If it drops, buy another 100, putting your toe in the water. And then the last step is doing it. Now I'm going to go through a case study here, and this is the Dow 30 example. In the Dow 30 example, this is one of the strategy templates, use it in simulation, that have been set up. It's been running for a long time. And in this one right here, they're only using the stocks in the Dow 30. So there's 30 stocks to choose from. Doesn't mean you have to trade them all. You might say just stocks in the Dow 30 that are $30 a share or less, or $50 a share or less, which is what they use. So you're probably not going to be trading all 30. Maybe it's 5, 6, or 7 of those stocks. Then you're going to set it, they do it, where if it drops 10%, we're going to add to the position. If you want to have it go a little bit faster, if it drops 5%, add to the position. So again, adding to the position means you've got money on the sideline. That's what this strategy template is all about. And then Cool Trade will book the profits for you. So you're buying on the way down, but it's already programmed to take your profits as it moves up. So watch it. It's there. It's the Dow 30 example. They've been using it for a long, long time, and it's designed to do exactly that. Book the profits. By the way, the results are very impressive. It's been running for 15 months, and I've seen the monitors there in the Cool Trade corporate offices where you can see it. Since January of 2012 to April of this year right here, it's been running this Dow 30 template in simulation mode. It started with $50,000 to start. It has an average of about $32,000 invested on any given day. So all $50,000 isn't invested, about $32,000. So there's always some money on the sideline there in case it drops some more. And in the course of these 15 months, it's booked about $14,000 in net profit. So net profit means it actually has booked $18,000 worth of profit, but because right now in the positions it's in, there's about $4,000 right there of the current P&L, a loss. We have to take the 18 that's booked in your reports minus the 4,000 if you sold it today, gives us 14,000 in net profit. So 14,000 in net profit on a $50,000 account, that's a 28% return, but that's over 15 months. So if you annualize that, that's about 22% return on that investment. That return, rate of return, ROR, on that investment on an annual basis, 22%. Now the stock market in the same time is what, up 8%, 10%, 22%. But you didn't do a thing. It booked the profit. You didn't have all your money invested. You didn't go for the roller coaster ride, screaming and shouting and hollering. You just let it do its thing. And that's what I love about Cool Trade is it's designed to book profits, which is the whole reason to be in the market anyway. So now let's talk about this word, volatility. Volatility, that means instead of being even and flat, things move up and things move down. Volatility. Some stocks have high volatility, some have very low volatility. So volatility is very important because we need to understand what it is and how it works and why it's important. Now, how do I find the volatility and how important is it? If I have a stock that is just staying flat and my whole concept is to buy it here and sell it here, it's not going to work for me. So I want to have a stock that has some kind of volatility, but I also want it to be in some kind of a predictable range. So Microsoft is a great example. You know, we can draw lines on a chart. Yes, it did hit all the way down to $16 and all the way up to $32, but this range right here is where it typically runs right in here. That's a beautiful stock to trade on a consistent basis. A lot of the Dow stocks are. Now, high volatility stocks, well, Apple recently has been a high volatility stock. We've got Baidu, that's kind of what they call the Chinese Google. That's a high volatility stock where it can be up 5 or 10% in a single day and down 5 or 10% in a single day. That may be a little bit more than you want to, go after. We do like movement, but not necessarily huge movement. So volatility is good, but we need to understand exactly how we use this within Cool Trade. Now, an average trading range, an average ATR trading range is, it typically moves in a $1 or a $5 range. That average range itself, that's important because if we're using a strategy where when it moves up $1, we book profit, if the range is only $1, chances of it going all the way up and all the way down, not very good. We're going to have to move that down, book profits on 50-cent moves. But on the other hand, if the stock has a $5 average trading range and we're booking $1 profits, we got a lot of room for profit in there. So we need to understand what the ATR is, the average trading range of that individual stock that we're choosing to use Cool Trade with. And that's all a part of getting to know it using those simulated, use the templates, simulate it first, you'll learn a lot from it. So now let's talk about these two terms, LIFO and FIFO. LIFO is the key one, last in, first out. With Cool Trade, it's designed to take those profits on the last stock that we bought. So if we bought some at 10 and some at 9 and some at 8 and now it moves back up to 9, it's going to sell that stock that was last in. Last in, first out, LIFO. So when you see that term, that's what it means. FIFO, first in, first out. We're going to sell this stock first. So we trade LIFO. Last stock in is the first stock out. That's what LIFO stands for. Now, we covered a lot of ground right here. During this presentation, we talked about the Cool Trade philosophy. We talked about long and short and a lot of other information. I highly encourage you to watch this again, listen through it again, but use the strategies in simulation mode. Cool Trade has been designed and been used by thousands and thousands of people over years. It works really well. And I'm curious, I'm guessing some of you listening to me right now, you don't own Cool Trade, and you're saying, I want to get my hands on this. Guys, you got to do it. I mean, the whole world is turning robotic trading. If you're not in now, it's just a matter of time, but your competition is absolutely using this type of tool. This is the first time we have it available to you and I, the average person, and Cool Trade has made it so simple. So if this has sounded intriguing, it is. Get it. Now, for those of you that are using Cool Trade, I hope this was helpful to make sure to fill in a few blanks and give you a little bit of direction, because we want you to be very, very successful. We have a whole series of trainings here at Cool Trade University, and we want you to use them all, watch them all, and really become confident in the market. That's what this is all about. We appreciate you being here, and share the word. If this is fun for you and you're making money and enjoying it, tell somebody else about it. Get them involved. You owe it to them. I mean, my goodness, everybody's going to get this at some point. The question is, are you going to tell them, or am I going to tell them, or how are they ever going to know? So share it with others. We appreciate you being here, and I want to thank you again for being here from Cool Trade University. My name is Gene. Thank you very much.